Hi.
Hi.
For those of you that don't know me, I'm Damien, and I'd like to say that Damien is one of the nicest fellows you could ever hope to meet. As such, he has no shortage of excellent friends, any one of whom could have performed the duties required of the best man with style and aplomb. It's a testament to his sense of humour then that he chose me. First of all, I'd like to thank Michael for his kind words, and also Damien for that heartfelt poem, and indeed for asking me to be his best man. It's the greatest of honours, Damien, thank you. I'd like to compliment you on your attire today. You really do carry off that suit, not quite as well as you carry off a mankini, but... I'd also like to say thank you to Damien Caroline on behalf of the bridesmaids, Joanne, Michelle and Jessica for the lovely presents you brought them. You've done a fantastic job today, and I'm sure everyone will agree with me when I say how beautiful you look. Thank you for everything you've done for Damien and Caroline. I know they appreciate it very much. Thanks also to the ushers, Nick, Andrew, Josh and Paul, for your help in manhandling, helping. Thanks also to Damien and Caroline's parents for their help and support in planning such a fantastic day, and of course for conceiving them. I'd like to take this opportunity to congratulate you both. I know this is just the beginning of a long and fruitful life together, and I wish you all the happiness that life can bring. You really do deserve it. Might look good today, but no one can hold the candle to you, Caroline. I don't know how Damien pulled it off, but he did. I've been friends with Damien since we were about 4 years old, like I said, and we were inseparable all through primary school. While the other kids were playing friendly games like pigs, scarecrows and over the wire, we were playing a game called Tiger and Deer. This consisted of one of us, the deer, trying to get from the middle of the playing field to the edge without getting caught and tumbled to the ground by any means necessary. By the other player, the tiger. Thank God we grew out of that. I did anyway. Damien just took it to the next level with various forms of kung fu, boxing, and now his latest passion, mixed martial arts. I understand Caroline tried to ban Damien from training and competing in the weeks leading up to today, but it didn't work. And even carrying a sprained wrist, he managed to make it to the gym. When doing some research for today, I looked up the meaning of the name Damien and found it quite interesting. Apparently it comes from Greek and means to tame, subdue. I'm not sure whether that means Damien is supposed to be taming Caroline or vice versa. I'll find out. Now Damien has always taken great pride in his appearance. Some people have even said he is vain. I never believed this much. He was about 18 when he came back from holiday in Spain with blonde hair. I'm not just talking a shade lighter either. I'm talking Marilyn Monroe. All the guys were asking him what happened in between bouts of laughter, and he insisted that it was just the sun that bleached his hair. After a week or so of ribbing, he realised nobody believed him and changed his story slightly to, oh, it must have been a mixture of the chlorine in the pool. After another week and a lot more grief, he finally admitted that he's used his mum's sunning. Apparently Diane had warned him that it's quite strong and not to use too much, but Damien being Damien, he's applied it liberally and sat in the sun for a good 8 hours. Still, he's not a bad looking guy, and yeah, that's the last time we're going to say that. But it could have been very different. As well as being mad on traditional sports like football and rugby, when Damien and myself were in our early teens, about 13 or 14, we used to go skateboarding a lot. One of our favourite places to go was Roundley Park. As some of you may know, there's a path by the mansion that's really good. wide, flat, excellent skateboarding. But there's also a path that goes down as you run there. Fairly steep angle. Damien being Damien, he wasn't called Mad Dog during his rugby days for nothing. One day just decided to go for it and shot up like a rocket before I could talk him out of it. I've honestly never seen anyone travel that fast without a car. Everything was fine until about halfway down when he hit a small stone or something which stopped him dead. Needless to say, his whole body inverted and he face planted the floor. I went running down the hill to see if he was okay. I was wetting myself. I got to him just as he was starting to stand up. He turned around to face me and the laughing stopped instantly. I can only describe it as something out of a horror film. There was blood just gushing from his mouth. I didn't find out until later that the impact had pushed his two front teeth back into his gum. He was actually pretty lucky not to lose them completely. After picking up my skateboards and practically carrying Damien home across the field, we finally got to his house. I'll never forget walking into his kitchen carrying our only son looking pretty much half dead. Just as I was about to explain that it was probably not as bad as it looked, Damien decided to pass out. I decided to cut my losses, make my excuses and leave. I didn't go back for quite a while. I'll never forget the look on I thought I'd also find out some interesting events that happened on the day he was born. Damien was born on the 3rd of June 1980, which was a Tuesday. Number 1 in the charts was the theme from MASH, Suicide is Painless. Glossed swiftly over that. The 3rd of June is a date that has witnessed many momentous occasions throughout history that have had a profound influence on his life. 1875, Alexander Graham Bell makes the first voice transmission, thus allowing Caroline to keep track of Damien. 1946, first bikini bathing suit in Paris. Because after all, without a bikini, you wouldn't have a mankini. And 1967, Aretha Franklin's Respect reaches #1, teaching men everywhere just what R-E-S-P-E-C-T means to me, and becoming an anthem of the women's liberation for obvious reasons. I'm not sure I'm the best person to dish out advice for a successful marriage, not being married myself, but I do have the following words of wisdom for the happy couple. Firstly, set the ground rules and establish who's the boss, then do everything Caroline says. Always remember to tell your wife those 3 important little words, you're right dear. Caroline, a husband is like a tiled floor. Lay it right first time and you can spend years walking all over it. Damien, don't forget, if you buy flowers, she knows you're guilty. You'll remember the last time you bought them, that's the reason why. In closing, I'll leave you with a little anecdote that I only recently became aware of. When Damien first showed his interest in Caroline, apart from being flattered obviously, she must have been slightly unsure about stepping out with a younger man. Would she hear Cradle Robert whispered in hushed tones in the car? I've been going out with my lovely girlfriend Catherine for about a year at that time. And things have been going really well. I'd even go so far as to say it was the happiest year of my life up to that point, of course. So Caroline met with Catherine for advice as our age difference is almost identical. Don't worry, replied Catherine, after listening concernedly. It was only embarrassing for about the first year. And now if you join me in the toast to the bride and groom. May thy life be long and happy, thy cares and sorrows few, and the many friends around thee through faithful, fond and true. May your voyage through life be as happy and as free as the shining dancing waves on the deep blue sea. The happy couple, Damien Caroline.
Damien Caroline.
Look at that. I've been told that we need to clear the room fairly soon, so to give the DJs a chance to set up, so